Hey there ladies and gentlemen, Digimon Deck Labs coming at you again with another deck profile. This time we have Diaboromon. So, starting off with the eggs, we run one of the BT17 Sumimon on deletion if this Digimon had the unidentified trait, gain a memory. And then 4 of the new BT22 one. Mainly because the inherit is really good. Once per turn, when any of the Digimon with the unidentified or CS traits are played, draw one. If it didn't have that unidentified bit, it would be pretty much worthless for the Diaboromon deck. So we run this at 4. So all in all, 5 eggs in this deck. On to the rookies. Run 4 of the BT2 Caramon. Again, drawing cards, inherit is really good. Your turn, when you play another Digimon with the same name as this Digimon, trigger draw 1. Inherit comes up a lot, especially on your turn if you are able to go into the Diaboromon and play out a bunch of tokens, and when you swing, you play out more tokens, which gives you more draw. We also play 2 of the BT17 one. Opponent's turn, when the opponent's Digimon is played or digivolves, if it is a level 5 or higher Digimon, this Digimon may digivolve into an Infamon in your hand, ignoring digivolution conditions and without paying the cost. That hasn't really come up with me a lot, mainly because when my opponent goes into a level 5 or higher, it usually wipes or somehow clears my board, and then it's inherit on delete. If this Digimon had the unidentified trait, I may play 1 Diaboromon token without paying the cost. So, 2 of that one. We also run 4 of the EX6 one. It's a searcher. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 tamer card or option card with Diaboromon in its text, and 1 card with the unidentified trait among them to your hand or trash. No, to your hand and then trash the rest. And then the inherit is basically the same as the other one. The reason I run this one at 4 is because, like a doofus, I still run a card that is probably pointless to run, but hey, I'm running it because I'm trying things. And then, last but not least, the new BT22 one. Digivolves from a level 2 with CS trait for a cost of 0. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Errata Sonata, and 1 card with the unidentified or CS trait from among them to your hand, and return the rest to the bottom of the deck. And then it's inherit, when this Digimon with Diaboromon in its text would leave the battle area by deleting 1 of your other Diaboromon, it doesn't leave. So that is all my rookies. That new protection effect is really good. So yeah. On to the champions. Still running 4 copies of the BT2 Diaboromon. The inherit to when you play another Digimon with the same name as this Digimon, you gain a memory. It's very nice. If you have multiple of these on the board and you play multiple tokens, you gain back a lot of memory. So we run that 4. The rest of them are quite... we run 2 of the new one. If you have 1 of your tamers, you may play an Errata Sonata from your hand without paying the cost. The inherit is same as the BT22 Caramon. When it would leave the field, if it has Diaboromon in its name, I may delete another Diaboromon to prevent it from leaving. So we run that one at 2. We run the EX6 one at 2. When this card would be played from your hand, by deleting 1 of your other Digimon with the unidentified trait, reduce the play cost by 3. And on play, when digivolving, delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with play cost of 3 or less. And its inherit is, if it dies, if this Digimon has unidentified in its trait, you may play 1 Diaboromon token. So I'll run that one at 2. And then the last one, you guessed it, the BT5 Diaboromon. If you don't have an Errata Sonata card in play, I may play 1 without paying the cost. I run this one at 2, mainly because the Inherit is still good. All the Digimon with the same name as this Digimon gain Rush, so your tokens can pretty much gain you a win if you manage to play them out and keep turn. Level 5s. Now, this is obviously all subject from down to my personal preference. I run 3 of the BT17 one because D-Digivolve is a strong mechanic, and when Digivolving, this D-Digivolves one of my opponent's Digimon, and then a play cost 8 or less, can't attack until the end of a turn. And then all turns, when another Digimon with Diaboromon in its name is played, D-Digivolve 1. So play that at 3. I also run the EX6 one at 3. This one, on play when Digivolving, by deleting one of your Digimon with Diaboromon in its name, this Digimon may Digivolve into Diaboromon in your hand without paying the cost. So, essentially, you can play this out for 7, delete a token, Digivolve into another Diaboromon. If you've got the erratas on the board, you can play out more tokens. If you have the Kurosarimon, you can gain back more memory. And of course, its Inherit, again, is when another Digimon with Diaboromon is played, D-Digivolve 1. So, a lot of D-Digivolve. And then lastly, we play 2 of the new BT22 one. Digivolve from a level 4 with CS trait for a cost 3, or just level 4 for 3. On play when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less. Then if you have an Errata Sonata or Eta Adam, your opponent's effects can't reduce this Digimon's DP or return it to hands or deck until the end of the turn. And then its Inherit is play a token when it dies. So I run that one at 2. Level 6s. We run 3 of the EX6. Start your main phase. When Digivolving, play a Diaboromon token. Very nice, especially if your opponent gets into a level 6. Your Diaboromon survives. Start your main phase, play a token. If you have one of the BT17 or EX6 Infamon underneath, you D-Digivolve. All turns, when an opponent's Digimon is played, you may activate one of its Digimons when Digivolving effects. So again, if they're in a level 6 or a level 5 and they're struggling for a level 6 and they need to play down like a searcher to try to find their level 6, unfortunately, that level 5 will be D-Digivolved if you have one of these underneath. Because this is not, the D-Digivolves is not your turn, it is all turns. So run 3. Oh, and also all your other Diaboromons gain jamming and blocker, which is very nice. I still run 2 of the Diaboromon aces. What can I say? Blast Digivolving. When Digivolving when attacking, play a Diaboromon token. And then, of course, when an effect plays another Digimon, you may delete one of your opponent's playcost 3 or lower Digimon. For each of your Diaboromon, add 2 to the playcost maximum. So, still very good, because you can essentially blast into this, play a token, D-Digivolve, delete. Still very handy. Controversial one, but I'm playing it again for reasons. The BT17 one. When Digivolving, by placing a Doomsday Clock from your hand or trash, as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, you may play 2 Diaboromon tokens without paying the cost. I mean, Diaboromon tokens don't have a cost anyway, so I don't know why they need to specify that. Opponent's turn. Once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, you may switch the attack target to one of your Digimon with Diaboromon in its name. So essentially, it's a redirect as well. You can see my dog running around in the background there. I run this at 1, mainly for Doomsday. That will change eventually to probably one more of these, the BT22 Diaboromon. Digivolves for 4 from a level 5 or a level 3 from a Infamon or CS trait. Has Alliance. When Digivolving when attacking, not once per turn, you may play a Diaboromon token. And then all turns once per turn, when any of your other Digimon with the unidentified traits are played, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. I'll tell you what, if you have this and you have an ace on the board, you can essentially clear 2 Digimon, which is very nice. So I'll run that at 2, eventually possibly 3. Just I need specific things first. 1 Armageddonmon BT5. A lot of level 7 Digimon are becoming very active in a way. So just having the ability to stop when digivolving. Unfortunately, it's not when attacking on play as well. When digivolving effects is very nice, and you can play this card from my hand by deleting a Diaboromon to reduce the play cost by 12, essentially making it play cost 3, and it has Rush, so 15k Rush for game, can't complain. Tamer cards, 3 of the BT5 one, gain a memory if you haven't identified in your trash, and then whenever you digivolve into a Diaboromon, you can turn this sideways to play an extra token. So when you play a Diaboromon Ace, you can play a token, tap this to play another token. When you go into the EX6, play a token, tap to play a token. When you go into BT22, play a token, tap, play a token. If you put a Doomsday Clock underneath, play 2 tokens, tap, play a token. Very nice, but only on your turn. So we run that at 3. The long-awaited memory setter. Now I need to check. It does not have Diaboromon in text. So unfortunately, it cannot add the unfortunately the EX6 Caramon cannot add this to your hand because it doesn't have Diaboromon's text. But I'll run this one at 2. It's memory setter. Also, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, by suspending this tamer, change the attack target to one of your Digimon with the unidentified OCS trait. You play a lot of tokens, you're going to have a lot of targets, and of course I've also got this BT17 Diaboromon that can also do that. So I'll run that one at 2. Eventually, probably, if I can, more. Option cards. 2 defense trainings. We all know what these do by now. Don't need to explain them. And the controversial card, because I'm going for it, 4 Clock of the Ends. If you don't know what Clock of the End does, you may play 1 Diaboromon token without paying the cost, then place this card as the bottom Digivolution card of one of your Digimon with Diaboromon in its name, without Doomsday Clock in its Digivolution cards. And then start my turn. If your battle area has 4 placed Doomsday Clocks, I win the game. It's inherit. All turns when this Digimon will leave the battle area by an opponent's effect, by deleting one of your other Diaboromon, prevent it from leaving, and end of opponent's turn, place 1 Diaboromon, 1 Doomsday Clock from this Digimon's Digivolution cards in the battle area. Once I get a win with this card, it will come out of the deck. But until that, then I am trying. I got 1 on DCGO, I want 1 in paper. So as soon as I get a win with Doomsday Clock, it's staying in the deck. That is my Diaboromon deck profile. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time guys, take care, and I'll see you around.